I'm so excited, you guys. Okay. Excuse me, but I am just really excited for this pick a card reading. So if you're new, my name is Tawny Michelle. Welcome to the channel. If you're not new, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you. So in today's video, we are doing what big changes are coming for you in your life in 2020. The big 2-0, yo. This is a big deal because, as you guys have heard me talking about lately, why 2020 is such a big deal. So I am so excited to do this reading. I am so excited to see the transformations you guys will be making in 2020. And yeah, I'm just so excited. So anyways, I'm going to put a video up on the screen. Now the video is facing the same way you are, so it's not confusing. This is pile 1, this is pile 2, this is pile 3, and this is pile 4. Pile 1 starts on your right, and then pile 4 starts on your left as you're watching the videos. So hopefully that is helpful. If you need a minute to pause the screen to meditate on which pile is calling to you the most, feel free to do that. There will be timestamps down in the comments below and in the description below if you would like to skip right to your pile. But yeah, let's do this. Okay, starting with pile number 1, let's see what big changes are coming for you in 2020. Okay, so we have the World card. We have the Chariot card. We have Venus, Love reversed. We have Mars, Force. We have Free from Judgment, Free to Love. We have Legacy of Light. We have Love, number 6. We have Teaching and Learning. We have Environment. We have the Shapeshifter. And we have the Teacher. Then we have Beauty. And we're going to stop there because I know it's a lot. So pulled a lot of cards. I like to give you a lot of info, if you know what I mean. Okay, so let me look at this here for a second and see what's going on. It's my first time seeing the cards. I do not look at the cards when I am, what is going on up here? I do not look at the cards when I am doing these piles, so just so you know. But, okay, so let's just start at the very beginning. Let's just start from jump here. I'm gonna move tonight, if you can't tell. Alrighty, we have the Chariot and the World. So we are really moving forward. We are really completing some shit in 2020. We are sick of, like, I don't know why, for whatever reason I'm getting that you guys have been staying in your own lane for a long time. You guys have been kind of staying out of the, staying out of the woodwork. And in 2020, you're coming out of the woodwork, if that makes sense. So you are like, okay, I'm driven, I'm ready. And with Mars Force here, this tells me this even more. It's like, okay, I'm ready, I'm passionate, I know what I want to do in the world, I know my place in the world, I don't give a shit anymore. And you're just like ready to go full speed ahead, baby. That's like really what I'm getting. And then we also have Free from Judgment, Free to Love. So let me tell you something. Pile number 1, I don't know if you're going through some love situation in 2020 that doesn't end up working out, or I'm just being honest with you guys, or if something didn't work out in 2019 that's still been holding you up, but you're getting over that in 2020, okay? Like, we are moving on, and that is basically what I see here. Full speed ahead, moving on, moving out into the world, not being held back anymore, okay? Like, you know your place in the world, and you're not letting anybody take that from you. This is like a big purpose destiny combo right here is what I'm getting from this right now. This is a big, like, completion, like, just really, really moving forward movement. Some of you guys are probably traveling the world. Maybe you're traveling to a different country in 2020. Maybe you're moving in 2020. You're wrapping up some really big things. You're completing a cycle that has went on for far too long. And I feel like you found your purpose, because we also have Environment here, which tells me, like, even more so, you guys have found it. You guys have found the environment that you want to be in, the environment that you no longer can be in. This is very, very much so about finding your place in the world. Also, the home life, the family life. It's also about connecting with your roots, because we have Legacy of Light here. Some of you guys are traveling to see family or something to do with family. I'm getting major family vibes here, but nothing bad or anything, so don't worry. We also do have Love, which coincides with the Venus card. So I think you guys are learning some lessons in love. And we also have Beauty here. You guys are learning how to truly love yourself. You're learning how to embrace your natural beauty. Your beauty not only externally, but within. It's coming out in 2020, baby. You are like, I am done hiding. I am done grieving. I am done, like, just guilting myself, shaming myself, let it out, baby. Let me out. I want to see the damn world. I want the world to see me. Like my pile ones are not playing in 2020. You guys are like, we are done with the games. Done with the games, okay? All right, so let's see what else is going on here. We have Legacy of Light. So this is about connecting to your legacy, worrying about your legacy, worrying about the mark you're going to make on the world. Like, this is crazy. This reading really coincides with each card. And I get really nervous with these pick a card readings sometimes because I'm like, oh shit, this is everywhere. None of it makes sense. But anyways, but not for you guys. This is like boom, 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 boom. It's all making sense. You guys are standing up for yourself in 2020. You guys are leaving a toxic situation involving love. Now, when I say this, this could be a romantic relationship, a toxic family relationship, a toxic friend relationship, anything where you guys, like, your perception of love is changing in 2020. Maybe before you thought love was like do or die type of shit, right? Like real serious, like you better die for me or I ain't even with you. You know what I mean? I need to stop cussing. But anyways, but in 2020, you're realizing that that is not love, that you have to love yourself first or else nothing else freaking matters, baby. We also have teaching and learning, and I find this really interesting with the, not the Hierophant, the Chariot card here. I think that you guys are determined to make a difference in the world and in the environment in some way, or if it's just your own environment, like even if it's just like, you know, I am in a toxic environment and I need to get out of it. But either way, you're going to take that passion, you're going to take that sense of will, that sense of determination. That's a huge word here. Determination. You're taking that sense of determination and you are running with it. And I mean running with it. And so you may be in a position where you start helping other people. You start learning about the world. You start learning about different cultures. You start learning about different spiritual practices. And you do that by either visiting different places, traveling different places, moving, whatever. You're just out there. Like, you are ready to experience all the world has to offer. 2020 is going to look so good on you guys so far. I mean, we ain't done yet, but I'm just saying. Okay, so next we have Shapeshifter. It says, skill at navigating through difficult levels of consciousness, ability to see the potential in everything. Shadow attribute, projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. Okay, so we also have to talk about, in each one of these readings, I made sure I didn't just pull like positive cards from positive decks, right? Well, I didn't know what cards I pulled, but not from just positive decks that I know are like really positive, you know what I mean? I made sure I pulled cards from like somewhat challenging decks so I could see the challenges, like, because not every change is like come with like rainbows and twin flames, right? Like, some changes are challenging, most changes are challenging. So anyways, Shapeshifter, major change. You are transforming. I really feel like this is great though. Like, I feel like you are taking the hardship and the despair and the guilt and the remorse and the shame and the judgment that has been, I feel like you guys have been like suppressed or oppressed, or you guys have been feeling like blocked something in 2019 or even like previous years. And in 2020, you're taking that. You are taking that and transforming it into this beautiful determination to go out and help the world, to go out and help the environment, okay? Like, you are not holding back in 2020. Like, you are just going for it. Okay, you guys are like really making some really big steps in 2020, okay? Like, really big changes. You guys are like 0 from 100. That's my pile ones. 0 from 100, real freaking quick, okay? Oh, and then the next card we have is Teacher. Ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. And one thing I want to say that's coming to me real quick with this Shapeshifter energy and this determination, this will, this drive energy, is that you may be a little bit all over the place at first. This could result in some setbacks. This could result into some control issues with the Chariot and the Mars card here. There could be some force, but I also feel like this is also saying that you were forced, okay? So you want to make sure that you don't take that energy and project it. You want to make sure that you work through it to where maybe you didn't, where maybe you felt suppressed or you felt controlled or you felt held down by something. You want to make sure that you're not projecting that onto anybody else, because sometimes we do it and we don't even realize it. It's like we set out not to become something. And in the process, we end up becoming it and we don't realize it until like way after the fact. And we're like, oh shit, you know what I mean? And so I just want to say that go full speed ahead, but there's still going to be lessons in that. You're going to have to figure out how to maybe not be too controlling, or when things don't go exactly your way, like be optimistic, take that energy, you know what I mean? And use it and transform it into something else. Anyways, so we have the teacher card here, ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. Shadow attributes are manipulating or abusing students, teaching negative traits and destructive skills. Okay, so once again, teaching and learning. Some of you guys could be going back to school in 2020 or taking a course, an online course. I have a spirituality course. If you're interested, check the description. But no, like some of you guys are really like teaching or learning to become a teacher. Maybe some kind of spiritual teacher or something to do with even beauty, love, okay, like helping, uplifting women, empowering women or men if you're a man. You're doing something to help, to give back, basically here. And we still have more cards, so we'll see. But make sure that you don't get too controlling if things don't go your way and start manipulating the situation. So you do have to be careful about that. Pile number 1. So let's see what else is going on with you guys for 2020, the big changes that are coming. Ooh, transform the way you see. That goes perfectly with shapeshifter, you guys. Holy shit, I'm like tripping. I cannot even believe this right now. Oh my God. Okay. Transform the way that you see things, like we were just talking about. Resilience, burn away the past. Beautiful. Resistance. So this is everything that we were just talking about, and fear. And we have the first chakra, Archangel Michael. Sorry, I promise I ain't high or nothing, guys. I don't do that kind of stuff, but I'm just in a good mood. I'm like alive at the nighttime. Can anybody else relate? I don't know, but so the more that you can transform, okay, so basically if there's setbacks, if there's resistance, it's because you have a fear, okay? So you may find that some fears come up. There may be some, at some point, there may be a time where you really need to work on your root chakra. And I feel like you guys are overcoming fears too. I feel like that's what this is all about, really. And I got that sense too. Holy shit, that's so weird. When I was actually pulling your cards, I was like, this pile is about overcoming fear. I can literally feel it. And I really feel like that's what you guys are doing. Resilience, burning away the past. You guys are becoming resilient to change. You're becoming resilient to the hardships that you've went through. Resistance, like fear. Okay, like you were scared to stand up for yourself for a long time. I feel like you were scared to be yourself, pile number 1. And now you are transforming the way that you look at things. You are more resilient. You are more susceptible to more open-minded things. You are a shapeshifter. You are transforming the way that you think about things. You are transforming the way that you view things. You are no longer the victim that you may have been in the past. But there may be still some things that go on with fear, especially with the first chakra here. The survival instinct, right? The ego. So you have to watch out for that in 2020. If there are any blocks, everything that anything that's blocking us, or anything that we when we are dealing with ego, it all comes from fear. Root chakra stuff, it all comes from fear. And fear is basically when we feel fear, we start resisting that fear, basically, right? And then that's what causes manipulation. That's what causes control issues. That's what causes stress. That's what causes depression. All of it is because we are resisting a certain fear, a certain emotion, a certain belief, or a thought that we don't want to accept about ourselves or the situation or someone else. And so it's really important to notice this in 2020. And also, you can save this video and come back to it. That way, throughout 2020, you can check this to make sure, like none of that shit's going on. Or if you start going through hardships, save this video, if I could talk, and come back. That way you know what's going on and you can work through it, okay? The next card we have is victory. So I do feel like pile number 1, you are triumphing over your fears. Literally, you are triumphing. You are awakening, with the world here. I feel like you're awakening. There's something to do with consciousness here, collective consciousness, or stepping out of your comfort zones, just you're doing something. I mean, it's insane. You are like really awakening to higher levels of consciousness. And that's what the shapeshifter card said too. Skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness. So then we have infinite abundance. You're fully supported as you devote yourself to your divine life purpose. Bitch, I cannot. And we have practice. Polish your skills by practicing regularly. So you guys are really working on something, man. Really freaking working on something. This is an amazing reading, and I cannot. Okay, miracles and leadership. You are making shit happen, pile number 1. I do feel that leadership position with the Chariot here, with the teaching and learning the environment. Like you really are leading people in some way. You are learning so you can lead people. First you are practicing and then you are learning. And you are literally getting on point with your North Node, I feel. You are getting on point with your desires, your will, your life's purpose. Like you are following your true north. You are completing what you were sent here to do in this world. Like you are on that path in 2020 and it's beautiful. So we have number 2, possibilities and intensity. So these are both reversed. So there may be some choices that you have to make in 2020 that may be heavy for you. There may be some points where you have to look at the bigger picture, where you have to like really pull through, like force yourself through, if that makes sense. We also have false person and despair, and then breach and vulnerability. These are our last cards. So what I see here with intensity reverse, possibilities, despair, false person, vulnerability, and breach. Okay, there is somebody that you, okay, so this is the only downfall to this reading so far, really. There is somebody that maybe you could not see their true colors at first. You couldn't see the full picture because it was really intense, but this person was toxic for you. And maybe you already know this. Maybe this person is already in your life, or maybe you meet them in 2020. I feel like some of you are leaving a person or a situation or just something that was toxic in your environment from 2019, and you're moving away from that in 2020. But this person, I feel like you couldn't see, and it really kind of motivates you. Like whatever the situation is like the motivator, the driving force that gives you so much like driving force. It really like breaches this wall that you've had up, or this, I don't know, this funk, this toxicity that you've been in. It breaches it, okay? I kind of feel like at first, also, this is also what I'm getting here. You may be led, there may be a choice, okay? And you may be led down a road, whether it's the beginning of 2020 or whether it's even right now, you may be led down a road that you think is your purpose. But once you kind of start getting there, you realize, or something happens, like maybe you apply for a job and you're like, yeah, like this is what I need to do. Like I can feel it. And it doesn't work out, because what I see here in this card literally says in the background, not hiring. So I kind of feel like with possibilities reversed, but with infinite abundance here in practice, this is telling me that if you get shut down at first, don't give up. The Chariot here, Mars here, don't give up. Free from judgment, free to love. Do not give up, okay? You are going places. So just because one door closes, do not let that like hinder you. Do not let that get in your way, because we have victory here. We have all this other stuff here. Infinite abundance. Like the universe supports you, as you devote yourself to your divine life purpose. Something is out there. And just because you may think it's one thing, you weren't seeing clearly. That's what false person here is about. There's either a false person or a false opportunity that will present itself, and you will get shut down, but just know that that is not for you, and that is why it happened, okay? And then, sorry, I'm like so hyped up right now over this reading. Then we have vulnerability. And a lot of people hear this word. This is one of my favorite words. This is one of my favorite feelings. A lot of people hear this word and they think automatically like negative, like, ew, vulnerability. And I used to be that way. But I've noticed that when I am vulnerable, when I allow myself to be vulnerable, which also goes with this resistance and fear that we were talking about earlier. When I allow myself to face that fear, when I accept that fear within myself, what overcomes me is this huge sense of vulnerability, but also this huge sense of relief and surrender. And I feel like you guys are going to be able to relate to this, what I just said, in 2020, very much so. So that is what I am getting for you guys. Pile number 1. What a great way to start this off. Like, wow, I am in shock right now about how just amazing your guys' reading was. Seriously, like I cannot. So anyways, let me know down below what you guys thought of this. If you can tell it's going to resonate. If it doesn't resonate just yet, just remember it's not 2020 yet, so save this video, come back to it in 2020. Seriously, I want you guys to come back and let me know. Don't forget about it, because this particular reading was like so good, and I'm so anxious to hear your guys' feedback on like how it resonated, if it resonated, like what's going on, and what, like, just you guys are going through such amazing transformations in 2020. Like I cannot, like, you saw how excited I was during this reading. It's just so beautiful. So thank you guys so much for all your love and support and watching my channel. I truly appreciate it. And we are going to move on to pile number 2. What is going on, my lovely pile 2s? Let's see what's going on with you guys for the year of 2020. Let's see what big changes are coming for you. The no BS version. Lego. Okay, so wow. Okay, the first 2 cards we have is the Hermit and the Lovers. So let's keep going for now. We have the Earth Element Stability. We have Chiron Healing Reversed. We have Spiritual Career. We have Love Partnership. Not surprised. A lot of love stuff coming up for this pile. We have Sacred Fool. We have Scribe. We have Engineer. And we have Discover Your Life's Purpose. So we are going to stop right there just for now so we can go over what we have here. But holy shit. Okay. I hate to say this, pile number 2, but I do see some kind of split up, some kind of breakup. Now, it doesn't always have to be romantic. It could be a friendship. It could be a family member, but something happens with the Hermit here. Someone that is newly single. And the way I drew the cards, they were like this, so it's like he's walking away. And we do have Love Partnership here. We have Earth Element Stability reversed, Chiron reversed. A lot of stuff here that tells me that either you're leaving someone behind, or you are making a choice to leave and go out on your own after a sense of feeling not stable, after a sense of feeling wounded in some way. It gets better, I promise. So don't be like, oh my God, this is so negative. I get it, but this is the no BS version. So just remember that you are leaving something behind. And it may hurt a little bit at first. It may be a little bit challenging at first. There's some kind of split up happening, or there's some kind of choice to go off on your own with the Hermit and the Lovers here. Because, and this is so important that this happens. I see why it's happening, because if not, you would not be able to find your spiritual purpose, your spiritual career. We have discover your life's purpose. In 2020, you are discovering your life's purpose, pile 2. So whatever this is, whatever choice, whatever crossroads you come to, whatever challenge you come to in the beginning of 2020, I feel like it's going to be, is going to help open a door for you that's leading you to your life's purpose, okay? Now, if you're not in a relationship, then it's probably just a choice. It's probably a crossroads that's going to present itself. Or it's like a job that you're leaving. That could be a big one with the Earth Element Stability reversed here. But whatever it is something that is going to kind of hurt a little bit with Chiron reversed here. I'm sorry to say it. I really am. But it's going to hurt a little bit, okay? But we also have Sacred Fool, and when I first saw this card, when I was drawing the cards, I really thought, like, you guys are learning. You guys may feel stupid at first. Whatever this is may, like, really make you feel like you are a fool, you know, basically. But when you start turning that around and you start learning how to embrace that energy, that is when you become the engineer, the scribe, okay? So the next card we have, Scribe, preserving knowledge and information. Shadow attributes, altering facts or plagiarizing others' work. The Engineer says light attributes, ability to give creative energy, a practical expression, talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas. So you guys will grow from this. You guys will move on with this, from this. You guys will do and embrace your quirkiness, your differences. Like, this card is so much about, like, okay, you want to call me a fool? Let me act like a fool. Let me act like, you know, let me bring out that fool in me. Not even act. Let me bring out that fool in me. Like, let me embrace that energy, okay? Let me find the parts that I don't like about myself so much and bring them to the forefront, and let me show you how freaking quirky and foolish and whatever I am, because I don't care. Because guess what? I'm embracing that energy. That energy is me. And that is what you guys are going through in 2020. Very early on in the year, I feel like you guys are learning how to engineer these new parts of yourself. You guys are learning how to express your creative energy and give it a practical expression, and the talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas. So the shadow attributes of this card is reliance on mechanistic solutions without regard for emotional consequences. So I do honestly see, like, some of you guys will go through this rebellion phase. So you do just want to make sure that you are being true to yourself, because you may begin to feel like, well, if I was someone else, or if I could look like someone else, or if I acted like someone else, or start comparing yourself to others. So it's very important to embrace those differences about you, embrace that quirkiness, that uniqueness about you, because that is really what's going to help you heal from this, and it's going to help you discover your life's purpose. Okay, baby? So let's keep it moving. All right, so we then have study. It says reading, research, and education help you gain confidence and clarity about your career. So some of you guys could end up going back to school or take a course, and that is really what's going to, I feel like, spark your interest in whatever it is that ends up becoming your life purpose. Some of you could also, this could be a career change for some of you. That's what this Lovers and Hermit could be as well, a career change. You decide, I want to go at it alone, or I want to start my own business, or I want to go back to school, or whatever. You could also find that, you know, a spiritual teacher as well, and start learning something that ends up being your thing. You know what I mean? That ends up being what you really want to do. Because then we have teaching. You inspire young people to learn. So I feel like with study and teaching here, you guys are definitely going to go off on your own and study what is unique and beautiful to you. Just look at this card, you guys. This is such a beautiful card. This is you guys in 2020. You're letting the sacred fool out. You are letting the, like, spunkiness, the rebellion, all of it. Like, you are letting it so much out, like it's just not even funny. Okay, so then we have balance. We have hunger. We have serendipity, merge with the flow. We have Naz, feel loved and proud. We have patience. We have yin yang. We have healing chaos. I love this card. Openness. And then we'll move on to the last couple in a second. Okay, so let's look at these really quick. So we ended with study and teaching. So there is something that you are learning, that you are really studying, that you are putting together. There's a lot of, like, problem solving stuff going on here. A lot of, like, helping other people, problem solving, some kind of spiritual career to help people. You're really helping with, I feel like, with balance and hunger here. Like, whatever this is, this, like, kind of, like, moment where you have to either make a huge choice or go down a new life path. In the beginning of the year is going, like, the path that you end up going down is, like, you're going to have a hunger that you feel like you cannot feed. It's going to be insane when it comes to whatever it is that you start learning. When you really start getting into your life purpose, when you discover your life purpose, you're going to have a hunger. You're going to know what it is, and you're going to have to balance it out. Okay, you're gonna have to really balance it out with balance here. I feel like you're just going to be, like, everything's gonna be so illuminated for you, and you're like, okay, I need to, like, balance this out a little bit. I need to, like, you know, because you might start spending all of your time and all of your energy and all of your effort, and you might work so hard because you're so in love with whatever you find, and then it just, like, it's just like this hunger, right? And then we have serendipity. Go merge with the flow. Naz, feel loved and proud. So once again, going with the flow, like I was saying before, it really goes with balance. Go with the flow. Try not to, like, push yourself too much or be too hard on yourself. Feel loved and proud. Pile number 2, you are falling in love with yourself. You are getting into a self relationship, okay? In 2020, you are discovering yourself, and you do not care what that looks like to anybody else in 2020. We also have patience. which really goes with what we were just saying with balance and serendipity and all of that and the hunger thing. You know, having patience is going to be a very, very big deal to you. I feel like you're going to want to, like, once you discover things, you're going to want to be like, okay, TikTok, come on, let's do this. But with patience here, I feel like it's telling you to be patient, that things will happen in time, that whatever, there's like a big time thing here, something to do with time, that in time it will all come together, in time it will all work out, in time you will get there. The Hermit is also very much so about time. Some of you guys could be listening to this and thinking like, well, Tawny, I don't want to change my career. I'm in my 30s, or I'm in my 40s, or I'm in my 50s, or whatever. And I feel like you may not see it coming. You know what I mean? Like, you may not see it coming. It could also be like, oh, you know, a side job or a side hobby. You know what I mean? Something that pulls you away to where you go off on your own to do your own thing, okay? We have yin yang, more balance, you know, more light and dark energies, and really kind of like seeing the two, okay? Really understanding the light and the dark, and really balancing out. You know, I really feel like this goes back to the sacred fool energy, really balancing out that darkness that you've been so scared of, or that energy that you've been keeping down, not wanting to heal, not wanting to face. It's like really coming to the surface, and it's like both of these energy streams are you, and it's okay. It's okay to face those energy streams. It's okay to become friends with yourself, with your own energy streams, because they're a part of you. And the only reason that you're keeping them suppressed in the first place is out of ego, because your ego tells you, I won't belong. I won't be good enough. What if people think I'm different? What if people don't like me? That does not matter. We then have healing chaos. So this tells me that you are going to be healing, that this is like, this card is just so beautiful, that you are going to be healing, that you are going to stand up, that you are going to be rebellious in 2020. And we have openness here as well. So you are going to be more open. You're going to be open about your healing experience. You are going to be open about your challenges, about the things that you've went through, the shit that you've went through to get to where you are today. And people may not like it, and that's okay. You will learn how to get through it, and you will not care. So yeah, that is what I am seeing here for you guys so far. Let's go ahead and pull the other last few cards that we have. So we have ordinariness, ooh, conditioning, ooh, change, great fortune, hello, innocence, harmony. Oh my God. These readings are lit, you guys, I swear. Okay. So you were conditioned as a young child. I feel like some of you guys that are watching this may be going through your Chiron return. Just saying, which would make you around 50. Not all of you guys, or you're going through some Chiron aspects. I know I am in 2020. So you're going through some Chiron aspects. And if you don't know what Chiron is an asteroid that we all have in our chart because it's in the sky. That stands for our deepest wounds in life that happen in childhood and where we need to gain mastery over them, okay? And this is what you're doing in 2020. You are gaining mastery over your wounds and healing them, okay? Major, major healing from the time you were a child, because we have childhood innocence here, music, harmony. We have a lot of harmony and balance here. You are balancing it out. You are healing both energy streams in you. And this has something to do, whatever it is, your wounds have something to do with your life purpose, okay? You were conditioned maybe as a child or oppressed as a child to be ordinary, or to suppress certain gifts and talents that you have, or just certain ways you express yourself, certain behaviors or beliefs as a child, because you thought you needed to be ordinary to fit in, but you are not ordinary. Pile number 2, you guys are not ordinary at all, and you need to embrace that shit, okay? Listen to me. You need to embrace that shit. You need to embrace your rebellious, your like unique, quirky, sacred fool nature, okay? Like that is so big for you. Some of you guys, I kind of feel like are a little bit like, you know, and don't take this the wrong way. I don't know like what other word to say it, but like a little bit nerdy, you know what I mean? And maybe you were like really scared about that growing up, or you got picked on or something growing up for that. But I feel like you guys are really technical. You guys are thinkers, okay? Like you guys are very, very good problem solvers. And there's also this rebellious, unique quirkiness about you that other people don't always understand. There's a weirdness about you guys, but it's beautiful. So embrace that shit. Quit hiding it. Quit letting society or your own thoughts about society oppress you, you know, suppress your own, like condition you into being some ordinary person that you don't want to be. Is this the life that you want to live? Look at your life. Has it been the life you wanted to live? If not, 2020 is the year to make shit happen, because we have change and good fortune. You guys are changing. There's a big change happening for you, a whole new path opening up for you in 2020, where you are going to discover what you were sent here to do, where you are going to discover your life's purpose, okay? It's just like beautiful. For some of you, it really has to do with teaching, studying technical, like being technical, logical, intelligence, like something along those lines, but it's also spiritual in some way. For some of you, I'm even thinking like it could be music or something with all the harmony, and we do have music, and there's music on this life's purpose card. So for some of you, it could be music. It could be something to do with helping children. I mean, this is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest. It could be something to do with helping like reconciliations or balancing things out, like harmony, bringing more harmony to things. So this is good, and whatever it is, it's going to be very fortunate for you. You're going to be very fortunate doing it. The change is going to bring you great fortune, but you have to like get in the damn car and go. You have to be able to like take that first step to that new path, okay? So that is what I am seeing for you guys, pile number 2. That was such a beautiful reading, such a good reading. I really hope that you guys ended up resonating to it. If you don't resonate right this moment to everything, just remember it's not 2020 yet when I'm filming this. So unless you're watching it in 2020, then I don't want to hear like, I don't resonate. Just know like it's coming, be patient, it'll be fine. But yeah, and if you want to save this video so you can come back to it in the future, you know, during 2020, like if anything happens and you want to see like, oh yeah, I want to see how that reading went again, so I can see if this is resonating, or I can see what I need to do in the situation, whatever. Definitely feel free to do that. That way you'll know, and you'll know what's up. You'll know all the tea. But yeah, I love you guys. Thank you so much for all your support. I truly appreciate it. And we are going to move on to pile number 3. What is going on, my pile 3s? Welcome to your 2020 big life changes, no BS version pick a card reading. This is for those of you that picked the 3rd pile. So let's go ahead and see what's coming for you guys in the year of 2020, what big changes are occurring. We have the High Priestess, the Magician, we have Lunar Eclipse change, we have Mercury retrograde reinvention, we have effort, we have self-love, then we have conscious connections, we have student, prince, we have patience, then we will move on to the rest in just a second. Let's first look at these, okay? So, interesting. So let's start with your first 2 cards. So we have High Priestess and the Magician. So, I feel like the first 2 cards in the tarot, other than the Fool, there's a lot going on here. You guys, pile number 3, may be very psychic, I'm feeling, because we also have Lunar Eclipse change, Mercury retrograde reinvention. You guys are reinventing yourself in 2020. You guys are putting in effort to literally transform yourself. You guys are going through some kind of alchemical process in 2020, and we're going to get more information on it. I'm just stating the basics of what I see right now. You guys are putting in a lot of effort into self-love. You guys have been putting a lot of effort into yourself, into owning the shadow side of yourself, doing shadow work, or you will be in 2020. You guys are learning how to use your intuition. You guys are learning how to use the tools laid at your feet, your resources. I'm really getting some of you guys are probably into definitely like spirituality, but also like other occult practices, possibly maybe witchcraft or something along those lines. You guys are very much into attracting things to you, and if you're not into that, you need to get into that, because you'd be very freaking good at it. You guys are just really good at taking something and reinventing it, changing it, transforming it, including yourself, or you will be in 2020. Okay, and you guys are, with effort and self-love here, you guys are putting a lot of effort into this, and you are starting to learn to love yourself. I feel like your psychic senses are going to be insane in 2020, so much so that you are going to make other connections with people that are going to that are a part of like your journey, okay, that are a part of your plan. You're going to make connections with people that are very, very important to your path in 2020. We also have student here. It says humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning, shadow attribute, arrogance in the pursuit of destruction, knowledge, unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. Okay, so that's another thing. There's a huge learning vibe here. So I kind of think that you guys have been learning and just, really open to information. You guys have been really, really learning things, whether already in 2019 or just in 2020. You guys are really learning a lot about yourselves. You guys are really, really, really working on yourselves, okay, in 2020. And you may like learning about all these things, but it's very important with the Magician here that you put these things into action, and that you don't just sit there with the High Priestess and absorb all this knowledge and wisdom without doing anything about it. So there may be tests with the Magician here in 2020 where you have to start putting that knowledge, that all those things that you've learned about yourself, all this wisdom that you've gained, into action. Also with the Magician, this could be something that you're working on, some kind of practice, or you could end up becoming some kind of spiritual or psychic medium, or just like some kind of practitioner of some sort, okay? Or learning about being some kind of practitioner, and you're gonna have the connections. There's a lot of duality here, like a lot of two energy here with the High Priestess, conscious connections, and yeah, I guess that's it. I felt like there was more, but there's not. But yeah, conscious connections in the High Priestess, that's both like duality. It's both working with the number 2. So I feel like someone very important is coming into your life in 2020. And I also feel like, just with the balance, with the duality of the High Priestess, this is about looking at the darkness and looking at the light and sitting in the middle, being yourself, letting yourself be the darkness, letting yourself be the light. We also have Prince, romantic charm and potential for power. And the shadow attribute is using power for self-aggrandizement. So I think that you may meet someone, or you may attract someone that's very important into your life. It could be a lover, but we'll see. And then we also have patience. So this tells me that maybe you're looking for a lover in 2020, or you're ready to find a lover. But with self-love and effort here, and that's where the effort comes in again with the whole action thing that we were talking about. If you're not putting any effort, like all these things that you've learned about yourself, or all these things that you've learned, if you're not putting any effort or any action into them, then what's the point? You know what I mean? So I do feel like you're going to be tested, pile number 3, when it comes to putting this action, and when it comes to truly reinventing yourself, when it not just your mind, but you're like, it's about the High Priestess here. It's about taking your mind, taking what you know, and having it represent your physical reality, taking the inner and having it represent the outer, being true in all areas of your life and balanced in all areas of your life, instead of just like, oh, this is how I think, but my life reflects nothing of that. So maybe you have family or friends, or you're in environments where you can't truly speak up or be yourself. I feel like some of you are a little bit of an undercover witch, or an undercover psychic, or an undercover healer, or whatever you want to call it. But you're really going to have to put that out and be patient with yourself, okay? Be patient with yourself. Be patient with your self-love process and the effort that you're putting into your self-love process. Because when we want someone else in our lives, it's normally because it's coming out of fear or ego. Like, I just don't want to be alone, or I'm just lonely, or I'm just bored, or whatever. And so we need to work on ourselves to figure out what's going on, so we're okay to be alone. And then once we are okay being alone, that is when we attract people that, are supposed to be in our lives, that are, going to help us grow to the next level, grow our consciousness. So we then have Justice and Children. Justice says, your career brings fairness and protection to others who need your help. Then we have Children, your life purpose involves helping, teaching, or healing children. Interesting. We then have Peace and Gratitude. Let me move some of these up really quick. I'm really getting a lot of water energy, or some heavy placements in Pisces possibly for some of you. Possibly even some 8th house stuff, or something along those lines. But if not, don't worry about it. It's fine. We have the Garden and the Gate. caring connections, financial restraints, minimus, commune with the source, samadhi, perfect acceptance. We have transformation, courage. Okay, before we go on, it does look like once you guys are able to really balance things out with justice here, once you guys are able to really find peace and gratitude within yourself, okay, you have to walk through that gate. So if you're looking for love, now this is for those of you that are not in a relationship. I will get to those of you that are in a relationship in a second. But if you're looking for love and you're not in a relationship, with the garden and the gate, this tells me that you have the key, you have what you're looking for right around your neck. You just have to open that gate instead of standing outside of it. So this is the action thing and the effort thing that we were talking about. How much effort are you putting into yourself? How much effort are you putting into finding yourself and loving yourself? Because once you can do that, then you can start attracting the right relationships in your life. You know what I mean? Not that any relationships are wrong relationships, but relationships that are more healthy, okay? I feel like you're really connecting with people as well. And I do feel like there's a really good possibility for a lot of you to attract love in 2020 that are not in relationships. If you are already in a relationship, it does appear that it's going to be fine in 2020, but there will still be challenges when it comes to if you can love yourself and if you can put the effort into loving yourself. Some of you guys are really attracting somebody that is really, really charming with Prince here, caring connection, conscious connections. It just, all of this, it's like really, really nice. Like this person seems like a really charming person, but we do have financial restraints here. So I feel like some of you guys may be dealing with some career stuff and some financial stuff, okay? So a lot of you guys have a purpose that involves either something from your childhood or children, or maybe you have children. And with justice here, it says your career brings fairness and protection to others who need your help. So you may be very giving. I feel like pile number 3, you guys are very, very giving. Your purpose definitely involves something to do with justice or protection or balance or harmony. There's a lot of balance in this reading. So make sure that you are balancing your finances. And if you're single, the person you meet, I feel like is going to be pretty well off financial wise. And with minimus here, commune with source and perfect acceptance. I really feel like, you know, your challenges that you go through are going to require a lot of acceptance. They're going to require you to really connect to that source, which we have the Magician and the High Priestess here. So 2020 for you guys so far, like a really big thing for you guys so far, pile number 3, is really connecting to that divinity within you, really connecting to that spirit within you. It's going to be very, very important because this is how you're going to get through things. This is how you're going to deal with the transformations, and this is how you're going to get your courage to deal with the transformations. This is very much so about overcoming your fears, overcoming change, overcoming your own self and your own self-doubt and your own self-fears and your own darkness to really understand yourself and really find out who you are. You're definitely going to be transforming in 2020. You're definitely going to find more courage in 2020 to really speak your truth. I feel like there's a big speaking thing here with the High Priestess as well. And we do have 2 change cards, like major transformation cards. So you're really going through a transformation of self, which in return is going to attract new people into your life that I feel like are going to really vibe with you. So we then have creativity and consciousness. So like I said before, I really feel like you guys are you're waking up in 2020. You're going through some awakening. You're really connecting with that High Priestess energy, that psychic energy. And then we also have that with consciousness here, like you're becoming conscious. You're taking the darker parts of yourself and making them conscious, which is also unleashing your creativity. So I feel like some of you are very, very creative, but maybe something happened in your childhood to where you suppress it, or you something with your creativity. You weren't able to creatively express yourself at some point in your life, and you're like, I really feel like you're doing healing work on your inner child and maybe helping others do the same thing. We have main female here. And then we have wealthy man. Like, what was I saying? I knew that this person, if there is a man coming into your life, pile number 3, or if you're a guy, this could be vice versa. But I really think that someone's coming into your life to really possibly help you financially, because they care. Now, this doesn't have to be a romantic partner, although I feel for the majority of you it will be, but it may just be like a family member, a friend, or something like that. But someone's definitely going to help you financially, and I do feel like you guys are just really learning how to be okay with yourselves and your situations in your lives. And like I said, if you're in a relationship, then maybe your partner ends up like getting a raise or something along those lines, or you know, you guys end up getting help from somebody that is financially successful or something along those lines. So anyways, we have dragonfly, emergence, and then we have volcano, I can't say this word, volatility. Sorry, I couldn't say it. So I kind of feel like you guys, there's a huge explosion emerging here. Like, that's what I see with these 2 cards. There's like a huge explosion emerging here. It's not slow. It's not like, it's just like boom. Like, a lot of change is happening for you guys. As soon as you really start putting the effort in, as soon as you really start learning to love yourself, learning to accept change, learning to emerge from your own secretive place, the places that you've been kind of hiding out in, as soon as you really emerge your true self, that is when everything is like and takes off and things start happening really fast. And they may even happen so fast for you guys, pile number 3, that I feel like some of you guys may need to slow down a little bit with patience here. You may almost need to have patience and slow down a little bit because it may get hectic. And then that's when, you know, you may feel like financial constraints are happening or whatever. So even though you may feel a little bit restricted with finances, everything else looks really great, okay? It's just about finding acceptance with things, finding courage with things. Things will transform in time, okay? So that is everything that I am getting for you guys, pile number 3. Hopefully this reading was helpful. As always, this is a general reading, so it may not be for all of you. And also, it's not even 2020 yet when I'm filming this. So if you're watching this and it's not 2020 and it's not resonating yet, it's probably because it's not 2020 yet. So maybe come back to it then. Also, come back and let me know if this ends up resonating with you. You can save it or whatever you want to do and come back and let me know if it ends up resonating, or let me know if you think it's going to resonate, if you can kind of tell it's going to resonate. But yeah, I love you guys, pile number 3. Thank you guys so much for all your support, and I will see you guys in my other videos. Bye. What is going on, pile number 4? This is for those of you that picked pile number 4, the last pile. Welcome, and let's see what's going on with you guys and what big changes you guys are going through in 2020, the no BS version. Oh wow, okay, so the first 2 cards we have is the Tower and the Death card. Don't freak out just yet. We have Trickster. We have Exorcist. Don't freak out on that either. I promise it's probably not what you think. I have Capricorn here. We have the first house, the body. We have music. We have adventure. We have follow your own rhythm. We have in the world, not of the world. We have trust. We have artist. And we will stop there for now so we can go over these cards. So, ooh, okay. This is interesting. So with the Tower and the Death card, this is a huge change that kind of happens unexpectedly, but also it's almost like you could see it coming. It's a huge transition. It's kind of like getting shaken free, because even though we don't have the Devil here, we have Trickster and the Exorcist. And so this tells me that there was some kind of oppressive or suppressive energy or some kind of bad habit, addiction, toxicity that you are finally like breaking free from. With Trickster here, we have transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. With Exorcist, we have freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. Okay, sorry about that. I had to stop for a minute because I just started getting this weird feeling in my head, and it was a little bit weird. This reading is really weird, and just those of you that picked this pile, it's obviously, the first row is obviously pretty scary to the average person. Not that there's anything really truly wrong with it. I kind of feel like you guys have a devil in your life. Now, when I say that, I don't mean like a demon. I don't mean like Christianity possession or anything like that. Some of you guys have been under the influence of something, whether it's a bad habit, whether it is a fear, whether it's a person. It's like something's been using you. And whether it's family, even like family beliefs, like I feel like maybe your family beliefs are like they manipulate you, okay? Like they try, like someone tries to act like they are freeing you from your impulses or your demons or whatever, but instead of facing your own demons, okay? Now this could be you doing this to other people as well, or someone doing this to you. This is a really heavy reading. And I feel like in 2020, it's like the tower falls, like the truth comes out. You really start understanding that this has all been an illusion, that either these people or you, like whoever, has been under this illusion of, and they've been using you. You know what I mean? Like for some of you, I feel like it could be an addiction as well. Now, an addiction isn't always like just drugs and alcohol. It could be like something that's just controlling you, you know, like controlling your body or suppressing you or manipulating you or whatever. I kind of feel like you guys you're breaking through that, because I feel that deep down you are some kind of like rebel, you are some kind of artist, you are some kind of like you like to feel things like music, adventure, following your own rhythm. You know, like all of this is telling me that something has had you held down. Something was really using you. Something was really like, you know, thinking that they were freeing you from destructive behavior, or you were doing something thinking that it was freeing you, but really you need to face your own demons. You need to face your own fears. This is really intense, man. So maybe, and this is really specific too. So if this isn't resonating, pick another pile. The other 3 piles were not like this. So I kind of feel like this is really specific. This is for someone that really needs to hear it. Sometimes the good guys are really the bad guys, and sometimes the bad guys are really the good guys. Both are each. The good guys are good and bad. The bad guys are bad and good. The bigger the light that you try to stay in, the bigger the light you try to cast, the more shadow that you have. Okay, so the more light that you try to be, light is actually controlling. Light is actually tamed. It's about taming things. And with this, I feel like you've been tamed by something, whether it's fear, whether it's family. I really kind of feel like a lot of you, this is other people. I actually have someone in my own family that's very much like this. They don't realize they're a trickster. They don't realize what they're doing. They really truly believe in it. But, you know, they try to manipulate me to free myself of these destructive impulses. You know what I mean? And they try to like use other things as like a way to tell me that, you know, whatever. And they like really, really believe in it, and that's fine, but that's not how I live my life, and that's not how I believe. I follow my own rhythm. And that is really what I see here for you. You guys really are going to be following your own rhythm in 2020 with music, with adventure, like with follow your own rhythm. Maybe it's like music, something to do with music. Maybe you stopped listening to a certain kind of music, or you stopped playing music or something. And with artists here, like you're very, very creative. Trust says, trust your feelings and dreams to guide your career path. And then we have in the world, but not of the world. So this is remembering your divinity. This is remembering that connection to your spirit. Pile number 4. I feel like something has been oppressing you for far too long, and it's finally like you're finally breaking free from it. Like you are finally breaking free from it, okay? And you're not taking bullshit anymore. For some of you, you're not letting someone else suppress you or trick you into thinking that you need to do XYZ to free yourself, you know? So let's see what the next cards are. This is very, very heavy. It's like reading weirded me out at first because I was like, holy shit, this is really heavy. And I knew, like, just seeing it, I was like, oh my God, people are gonna think the worst. And like, you know, possession can be from anything, right? Anything that we tell ourselves, anything that we try to convince ourselves of, or anything that we're addicted to, anything that we don't want to face, right? And then we start manipulating others without even realizing it. And this is really very much so about dealing with your darkness. Your darkness may not be as dark as you think it is kind of what I'm seeing here. So we have action, we have patience, we have blossoming abundance, we have happy family, mosaic, let chance play its creative role in your life, paradisiacal, you belong to paradise. We have simplicity and gateway, understanding, the dream reversed, schizophrenia reversed. Then we'll go into the rest in just a second. So another thing that I'm getting is some of you guys, this could have something to do with your body, like at your actual body. Maybe you don't show your body, or maybe you're self-conscious of your body, or maybe this has something to do with eating, right? Also, artist here says engaging in artistic activities is beneficial to your career and everyday area of your life. Like, this is so heavy. My shoulders are like being weird right now. We have action, patience, blossoming abundance, happy family. So with happy family, I kind of feel like you may do things to keep people happy, whether it's in your family or with it's like your loved ones, whatever. You may be conforming to keep people happy. And that's just not you. With trickster and exorcist, this is literally someone trying to trick you into believing that you need to do X, Y, Z. And with Capricorn, this is very much so about like, this is the tradition, this is the way to do it, this is conventional, you have to fit in, you have to do it this way. The first house is like, you have to do X, Y, Z, you have to be X, Y, Z to fit in. And I'm getting like, that is not the case, you know? With happy family, it's like, whoever you're dealing with is very much so concerned about appearances. And in 2020, I think that you are understanding, like with the feather in this card, you feel lighter, you feel like more simplistic when you are trusting in your own self, when you are following your own rhythm, when you are like letting yourself have adventure, when you are letting yourself be free. And there's going to be like a gateway for you in 2020 that you can go through, it's going to be like going through a whole new gateway. Like the Tower and the Death card, it's like finally like something is like, it's just gone, like it's falling, it's no more. And it's like you finally, like you've waited so long with patience here, I feel like that you're finally able to take action. You know, like you've been patient long enough, you've given in long enough, and it's like you're finally taking action. And through that action, you will see the true meaning of abundance. You know, you will find true abundance through that action. You are definitely very artistic, definitely very creative. Let chance play its creative role in your life. You belong to paradise. I feel like some of you guys should definitely take a break, get away, go on vacation, go on some kind of retreat, something to really open your mind, because I feel like you're really understanding that your dreams aren't your own. The schizophrenia here reversed. This is about trying to keep two huge ass sides together, trying to keep the peace, trying to be someone you're not. Your dream isn't even your own. The dream is also 6 of Cups reversed. So this is like I'm not keeping the peace with my family anymore. I'm sorry, that's what I'm getting. This is family related. This is someone that has been very heavily restricted since they were a child, I feel. And maybe you're already kind of coming into your own, but I don't know. Or you could be doing this to your children. And if you are, then maybe it's time to step off in 2020 and realize and let them follow their own rhythm, because I mean, it's just like when you think about it, like, and I normally don't get into this shit, and that's why I stopped the video for a second, because I'm like, do I really want to talk about this? But this is no BS, right? So we're not holding back. When you think about it, and I know like this is just, I'm just going to use an example because this is like really, you know, whatever. It's just an example, but this is literally how shit happens. And the real world as well. So like when we think of like a show like Game of Thrones, right? Most people have seen Game of Thrones. when they let the sparrows take over, the church take over, and they start killing people and they start just doing all these crazy ass things to people, right? Like all out of sin and out of like divinity and the Lord and whatnot. And it's like, that's why it's like people that pretend to be the lightest cast the biggest shadows. That is a perfect example of that, pile number 4. And I feel like somebody is in your life doing this to you. Somebody is tricking you. Somebody is like, it's like your own personal real life demon in a way, you know? It's not like a like, you know, demon like Christianity believes. Like, so I just want to make that clear. But, and you're like breaking free, okay? Like you're forgiving them. You're not mad at them. Maybe this is even like your past. Maybe this happened in your childhood. In 2020, you're finally like forgiving them, but also like completely freeing yourself, completely healing from the situation. Really, with this understanding card, I see forgiveness. I see you like flying away, like whatever. Moving on from your childhood. Moving on from grief. Maybe you lost a family member and it's been hard for you to move on. Okay, so the next card we have is child and mature man. So these could definitely be the personalities or the archetypes that you are dealing with. Like I said, when you were a child, maybe someone really put these ideas and beliefs into your head, like you can't do XYZ, it's of the devil or it's evil or whatever, and that's really been holding you back from doing what you need to do. And like I said, I know this reading, I just want to reiterate this because I know there will probably be people down in the comments like, I don't resonate, what, blah blah blah, but just remember that this is a general reading. And this specific one is very, very specific. So you can feel free to pick another pile if you know it's not going to resonate. Because I feel like it would, for my pile 4s, this would already be resonating if this was your pile. Because this has a lot to do with the past. And maybe your grandfather, your dad, some kind of figure in your life was not there for you the way that you needed as a child. Maybe they really, or maybe this is someone you know, and it's like breaking your... Something's going down, okay, in 2020 with this. We also have clouds shape-shifting, and then we have lotus flower unfoldment. So yeah, something is unfolding, something is changing. You're coming out of this illusion that you've been in. You are understanding things at a higher level now. You are understanding your own things. You are trusting within yourself, within your purpose, within your own path, within your own beliefs. You are trusting in your creativity. I feel like you guys have really creative gifts, but you've been scared to use them because of your beliefs or your family's beliefs, and they don't agree with it. They don't agree with the music or the adventure or whatever. It doesn't have to be music. It can be poetry or spell work or whatever. And it's like someone just does not agree with it. And I feel like you are shape-shifting in 2020. Your shape is shifting. You are finally letting go of, you're becoming light as a feather. There's a lot of sky, clouds and simplicity, clouds and understanding, clouds and schizophrenia. It's like, and schizophrenia is reversed. So this tells me you're no longer trying to keep the peace. You're no longer trying to play both sides, right? You're letting go and falling into the clouds, okay? That is what I see here. So yeah, that is what I'm getting for you guys, pile number 4. It's a really heavy reading, but it's really, really important for someone. So I'm going to leave it in here and I don't give a shit. Basically, that's how that goes. Someone really needed to hear that because all of it goes together. None of it doesn't make sense. So it's not really like telling me it's all over the place, but someone is like trying to tell you what to do with your life or your body, or someone did in your past. And now you are following your own rhythm. You are going out into the world. You are exploring. You are exploring your own divinity. You are exploring your own creativity. You are exploring your own trust within yourself and within your life. You're experiencing adventure. And you are becoming yourself. First house. You are learning how to become yourself. You are learning how to love your body. You know? I really feel like someone else was telling you what to do with your body or telling you how to live with your body, you know, like what to do with your body. And I don't know. This is very heavy and intense. But like I said, it's for someone. So if it wasn't for you, that's nice. But just know it was for someone and you can pick another pile. But that is everything that I am getting for you guys, pile number 4. Hopefully this was helpful. Definitely let me know down below if this was your pile. I'd really love to know. Alrighty guys, that was all for this pick a card reading and what big changes are coming for you in 2020. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this reading. Definitely let me know what you guys thought down below. I'd love to know. Make sure you go and follow me on my socials so you can keep up with me. I love you. Bye.